Handshakes and hugs from above. Welcome to a new episode of We Don't Talk Hoops with Arden Franklyn. I am your host, Arden Franklyn. This is a isthatarden production coming live from the crib at 24 New York inside their Hudson Yards location. And I'm excited about this next guest, man. This is a young brother who we met at the top of this year.
We did.
We met at 24's Oculus location. And for the record, right, we had a shooting contest. I technically won the first round, but the brother was too competitive and had to run it back. And let's say he got that one. But for the record, I got the first one, by the way.
You
So I'm
did.
still undefeated. But in all seriousness, this dude is honestly one of my favorite content creators in the game. Does an incredible job balancing what content is meant to be when exploring basketball and fashion's relationship, especially within Gen Z. This is a dude who has an online audience, check this out, of nearly 800,000 followers online, and he's only 21 years old. And oh, by the way, I know that you hoop. 2022 Catholic League champ, captain. Let's talk about it.
Appreciate
Played,
you, man.
with the Long Island Rough Riders.
Yeah.
We saw what's going
you
on.
really
This
got the
bro
backdrop.
is for real. It's the real deal.
It's a fact,
And I'm
man.
very excited to have him on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Eden Boakye, better known as Eden from Long Island. How you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful, bro. It's a pleasure of you inviting me here today, man. We met a while ago. I felt like this was long overdue,
Yes.
but today is the right day to happen. So, hey, man, I'm blessed to be here. So, I'm ready. Let's get started, man.
Let's get into it, man. First of all, what made you pick that particular shoe to
To be
describe
honest,
your vibe?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. The way I've been feeling these past couple months is just very artistic, very just embracing who I feel like I am. I just do whatever I want, how I feel like it, and I feel like this shoe just is a statement. Like when I walk into the room, I want to be, oh, that's Eden from LI. Like that's just the way I've been feeling. So this right here, you go step into a room, people gonna ask you, what type of shoe is this?
Mhm.
What made you pick this shoe? What made you even get this shoe? And it got fur on it. It got a little carpet on it. It's just a lot of different materials on here. So I'm just embracing me being a statement in a room or just anywhere I go and me being a leader. So
And I love that reasoning because the other reason could have just been like, yo, I feel like the Grinch.
yeah,
We
I could have just I could
you know
have
what I'm saying? We about to.
I didn't have to do all that, but I just felt like that. But yeah, I'm just feeling like the Grinch right now. I guess that's just how I
Hey,
guess.
life is about duality, Eden.
Literally, bro.
Life is about duality.
You
I
already
love
know.
that. For me, I'm feeling very calm, folks. Feeling like an honest working man who cares about gel. So I went with the A6 gel. Had to
Mm,
put it all together smooth. It's crazy how many folks love this shoe.
Now I honestly love it though.
They love it. I
Like
still haven't had a pair, but I've seen it. This feels like my
you
style.
wait, you got to get those.
I know I always wanted these, but I'm a size 13. So a lot of times
Your
stores don't
size
have
don't
size
matter.
13s.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
then, you know, because
Sometimes,
the market,
yeah,
your generation drives up the price because y'all be rocking it all the time and looking fly at the same time. I can barely get
yeah,
these.
you're right. I'm be honest though, I got mine's royal blue color. But I had to get them when Asics was just now popping, so mine was about like $200. But right now, if you look at those price, it might be 400. So I understand you,
Yeah,
bro.
it might be worthwhile. Because the thing for me, before we move on,
Yeah,
when I get a shoe,
yeah,
I wear this. I wear
yeah.
my shoes. Like for
Yeah,
example, I'm rocking. These are the certified Loverboy Air Forces. I've been wearing these nonstop for 2 months.
I
I
hear
don't know
you,
what a
brother.
rotation is. I will wear these to the very end. So
Yeah,
I love these. Eden, just to get into your story, right?
yeah.
The one thing I want to give you your flowers for is the fact that you're a proud native of Long Island. Like you actually rep Long Island, you rep the crib. So first things first, which part of Long Island are you from?
So the reason why I rep Long Island in general, but to be specific, Westbury to be exact, is because I would say I'll give you a story. When I was a little kid, I'm gonna be honest. I had best of both worlds. I grew up in a private school, but I also played basketball in like I guess you can say the hood, but it's not really the hood, but it is a little bit of a what I'm saying, a little bit of the hood.
Yeah.
So I was a good kid, but I also had to adapt to different environments. And what Westbury did for me personally, it just installed like a dog activity in my mind. Like you just had to adjust of because not everybody was nice out there. So you can't just sit there and get bullied. You know what I'm saying? So in private school, everything was sweet for me. Nobody would it wasn't no problems. It was no anything really harm going on. So that balance was perfect. So I was a little chubby when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little chubby. I remember me being a little fat. So I would get clowned in Westbury a lot, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that whole process of me being a little bit picked on and not me being used to that, and I'm playing basketball, but I'm literally one of the best little kids out in the neighborhood. So the older guys would look at me like, yo, come on, little bro. Like they would really advocate for me
Yep.
wherever I would go. Like they would have my back wherever I would go. So I had to really just I didn't like being fat at a certain point. So I'm gonna be honest, I really had to adjust and I end up losing a lot of
Yeah,
weight.
you locked
And
in
I
with
end
your
up
health.
just mentality wise, they just put a lighted a fire in me and it just added a whole different dog mentality, New York mentality. And shout out my coach Mike Jackson because he
Gotta
really
show love to the
paved the way
coaches.
because he would take me on trips when my mom or my dad wasn't around with AAU trips and just come spend a day with the whole gym day with me, you know what I'm saying? And feeding me all types of stuff. So he played a real huge role in my life. And yeah, bro.
For you, what was it like hooping in Long Island, especially during a time where the area was really starting to have this resurgence? Because now, for folks that don't know, like Long Island is really re-emerging as a strong basketball commodity in New York, right? There's
Yeah.
Long Island Lutheran that is,
Facts.
gave way to, like I know now, Kyan Anthony, highly anticipated recruit at Syracuse, VJ Edgecombe, top three
Yeah.
pick in this year's draft, right? So many talented players, but also just folks like yourself who was able to not only do their thing in high school, but also play in college, right? So
Yeah.
for you, what was it like hooping during that scene in particular?
It was a lot of underrated stuff going on in Long Island, but at the same time, in our little crew, we would have certain people that, was paving the way of Long Island. So I was getting it was getting competitive. At a certain point, it was getting competitive. We were competing with even guys in the city. So it was no longer Long Island's below us, where we're just little dogs out in the water. Now we were actually competing with the top guys. So I would say for basketball wise, it was a great community in Long Island because we all had each other's backs. And I would say the core group of solid guys that played ball just knew each other and we would actually like play against each other off school basketball, like not even just AAU, just in the community, like local gyms, training sessions. So I would say it was a good environment. I learned a lot from just being in the Long Island territory. It really is underrated to be at in Long Island. I feel like people got to put respect on Long Island name in basketball, just in general in life. I feel like Long Island definitely is coming on top and will be at the top very soon. So
Whether it was during your time playing or
yeah,
right now, and because, for the folks who may not be familiar with Eden,
hmm
he does a lot of great content involving list.
yeah, that's a
Top
fact.
five, top
That's
10,
a
breaking it down, right? It's a weekly occurrence to see you go viral
facts,
because of these lists that create great conversation. For
facts.
you, right? Like I said, whether it's during your playing days or right now,
Yeah,
name your top five Long Island towns when it comes to ball.
I'm gonna go my top 5 Nassau County basketball high school teams. I would go number 1 as of right now, or in history.
We could go right now.
As of right now, I would go Baldwin.
Okay.
At number 2, I would go Uniondale.
I've heard about Uniondale.
Number 3, surprisingly, I would have to put Westbury at number 3,
Mhm.
only because I'm affiliated with them, and they used to be that, so they got some historical talent. Number 4, I would go number 4. I would have a brain fog for number 4. I would go. You could go Freeport.
Okay.
Number 4, Freeport, and then number 5. Lately, this like new East Meadow.
Tough.
Some people might not like it, but
Yeah.
hey man,
Yeah.
that's just what it
To
is.
switch the pace up a bit, right, Eden? Like for you, of course, you had the chance to grow up seeing the relationship between basketball and fashion
Yeah,
evolve, right?
yeah,
To where you had your favorite players who you love, not only watch on the court, but off the court with how they dress.
yeah.
How did that relationship impact your fandom of the game?
So I would say I grew up in an area where they would actually dress up very decently, and I kind of really just developed my own type of swag. I feel like I just got it from watching maybe like NBA guys.
Hmm.
I would say I like their on and off court swag. Like a guy for me right now, I like Shy Alexander, his
Yeah.
swag. Even though that's new generation kind of. Growing up, I didn't have any specific players that I really looked up to. I would say I would say my parents. My dad was very stylish in his own area. He would have like he would one day he took me to Zara and I didn't even know I was a little kid. I didn't know what Zara was. And I'm like, what type of clothes? Baggy clothes and crop tees and oversized jackets. And I'm like, this is not really my swag. I was into tight clothes and stuff like that. And then now that I'm into fashion and just having swag, my style just evolved. But I always was just developed by my parents and like maybe a couple of my friends around me.
Mm. And for you, I think especially because, right, you had the chance to not only just play high school ball and be
Yeah,
successful, but you had the chance to play college for a bit.
yeah.
To those out there, right, who want to be a content creator or a creative, and they
Hmm.
too are in a position of, yo, I'm in college, I'm trying to play ball, but I have these other interests. What would be your best piece of advice to them, especially based off of what you went through?
So for me personally, I always tell myself I don't have any regrets because I feel like I'm in the position that I am because that's God's purpose for my life. However, I wish I started earlier.
Mm,
So I would say I feel like you gotta choose one and you gotta dive head first into it because when I was playing college basketball and I was also doing content in school, I was really trying to focus on both at the same time and it was misleading my direction into maybe one of them, which at the time in college in my early years, I would say freshman year, I was definitely trying to go to pro. So I was doing content on the side, not really taking it too serious, but my growth in basketball was getting stagnant a little bit because my mindset was on another direction. So what I would say is you got to just choose one and just stick with it. You might have to pray, not might, you actually have to pray about it
absolutely.
and ask God what plans that you have for your life, and then He'll reveal it in the next couple of days. Because the next couple of days, actually, when I was going through my situation, I had some iffy grades. I had actually been on athletic probation. I had to talk with my guidance counselor about what I should do in my life. And I don't know if this was God's sign talking through her, but she had talked to me like, Eden, do you really see yourself going to like the NBA? And I always was like, I never had that real conversation, that
Mhm.
realization. Like, and I don't know. So I kind of went home, thought about it, and I was like, I don't really see myself. I'm 5'10", 5'11". Uh, it's a lot of great heights out there
Hmm.
playing the same position as me. So had that talk, got the confirmation, and then ever since then, I went full throttle and I never looked back. But definitely pick one, choose one, and really go full throttle, and you're gonna take over the world.
And before I get into this next question, right, I want to follow it up because that was incredible, Eden, in regards to your generation in particular.
Yeah,
Besides your potential being endless, there's so many things for y'all to get into, to
yeah,
express your creativity, to
facts.
start a business, to do all of these things. For you, not only being a prime example of what it means to pursue your passions, but you're also someone who's watching your peers
Yeah,
do that. Is it a lot just seeing so many faces out there who are able to, yo, I could play ball, but yeah, you see me in the fashion or you see me making music. And I don't even mean that in a bad way. I'm
nah,
just
you good,
saying, right? I'm an avid TikToker,
yeah, you are
watching it, trying to consume it. And I
facts.
see so many multifaceted Gen Z student athletes, creators, and it's like, yo, y'all are really doing everything. So
Yeah,
for you explained so well how you were able to get into it,
yeah,
but you also being a consumer as well as knowing people.
yeah.
What is it like for you watching that?
So what I will say is, some people even think I should still try to play college basketball. Still, they say, "Oh, Eden, you still have eligibility. You have 2, 3 years left. Why
Okay.
don't you still try to play?" But the thing is, I'm seeing everybody, and it kind of does bring me back to those like, dang, I wish I could go back. But I know the level it takes to get to the next level in content.
1000%.
So you really can't do that. But me as a viewer seeing it, it's kind of crazy because you kind of compare yourself to everybody. And sometimes I literally lean back and I just you have to think about what your life is looking like, not really comparing your life to other people. I know people that's a cliche to say, but you literally have to realize that you are who you are, and you have to literally embrace it like in your heart to know and to feel like, yo, I'm him. I'm Eden from Eli. I'm whatever your name is. I'm that. So just stick to your own creativity, because there's a lot of distractions that are out there. And Netflix, they already created their show. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
already created their movie or their whatever they had playing. Um, LeBron, he already did what he had to do. So great people are everywhere. You can be just as great as them, but just try not to sink into the dopamine of the social media reality, because hey man, it's not always what it looks like. So you got your own story. So you're gonna get there. Just take time and put the work in. So
I have two more questions for you,
yeah,
Eden.
talk to me.
For you, right, again with your content, again, just to remind people, right, this brother, 21 years old, has already built up an audience of nearly like just
Just
just shy of 800,000
yeah,
followers, right? I think you have over 500,000
yeah.
on TikTok.
TikTok.
For you, knowing that you have a great love for basketball and knowing you have a great love for fashion, I've seen you become essentially like a multi-level scorer, right? Like you do the
Yeah.
list content, you do the on the street interviews, you do the vlogs, you do the
Yes.
breakdowns of your favorite, you know, product and things that you like. How
Yeah.
do you balance making content of both of your loves?
Yo, it's tough, man. It's not what it seems. I actually One thing I would suggest people to do is build a team around you. It might take some money, it's gonna take some investment, but you gotta really build a good team around you. So I've built a great team this year actually.
Shout out to the
So I
team.
shout out the team, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my guys, Ron, shout out my Clipper guys, shout out Dre, shout out all my team. But what I did was I created a team. So I created a guy who clips my interviews. So he clips it for me. I literally just post the interview. The posting part to all platforms is what's hard for me.
Yeah.
So I literally posted up 4 different clips on 4 different platforms while I got to this interview right here. So the crazy thing is, it's very time consuming. People ask me, yo, how are you doing this? Like I literally have 4 different platforms. So what I do is I have the listing content, I have the street interviews, I also have, you know what I'm saying, this little relatable page, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I have a lot of things going on. The thing is, I don't waste time. So what I do is I map out a schedule and I really stick to it. You just really can't be distracted. I don't have a lot of time in my day, so I really just try to map out timing schedules on posting. I create my videos at nighttime, so while everybody's sleeping, I'm up at like 1, 2 a.m. just mapping out maybe 10 videos for the whole week. Then that's how I'm beating my competition, because I'm mapping out the videos. I'm doing them on the first day of the week, and I'm doing it. And then the rest of the videos for every other day, I'm literally outside with my family. I got school. I'm out here doing other business activities.
And that is such an underrated thing that I think most people don't realize when it comes to like creating content.
Yeah.
The creating aspect of it isn't really hard. It's
Hmm.
more about the strategy,
Yeah.
like strategizing, right? When to post. And here's something too that like I know we can all relate in here. Posting on different channels is especially when you start thinking about the copy, writing copy, making sure it's fitted right way. Then you got,
That's
motherfucking, thumbnails and
that's
like
a yo, nah.
even with this pod, like this is probably the most detail I've paid attention to certain parts of the presentation I've been fortunate to leave to like my friend Zach who's directing this, right? Or things I've
Yeah.
done with B Hill or my homies
Yeah.
G, T, etc. Right? I've been able to just leave that to them. I'm like, yeah, I got that,
Facts.
right? But for
That's
me, I've been in a lab and I'm like, I now know what they feel like.
yeah.
Cause like you really get consumed by this, but of course, when it gets out there, it is very rewarding.
Very
Last
rewarding.
question I got for you, Eden, right?
Talk
And
to me.
I want to go back to your basketball playing days
Yeah.
specifically because I think this is so damn true, right?
Facts.
What is it about the basketball community that whether it's from current hoopers to let's say softly ex hoopers that no matter how many years you're removed from playing seriously,
Yeah.
you're forever connected. Cause the bonds that y'all have, and I
It's a
give
fact.
credit to your generation, particularly Gen Z. Man, it's so dope just seeing y'all stay connected no matter what, right? Again, folks who you locked in with in high school that may not have played in college,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have guessed that those relationships
That's
have
a
changed
fact.
because folks haven't made it to the next level or from college to pros. And it's
Yeah.
so cool to see it. You know what I mean? So, what has it been like for you, not only being a part of that community and having those relationships, but you also treating people like that the same way?
I would say the thing it is about just always staying connected is that basketball just builds a whole lot of friendships, like deeper than just basketball. Like literally, you can go schedule a day with the guys to play basketball, and you really don't even care about the basketball aspect. You just want to see the bros, or you just want to
Hmm.
see the home. Say if it's a girl, she just want to see her homegirls. It's literally like that. It's just a community of just people that's competitive, and they just all bond and relate to each other. So now that people that on my stature, they don't play basketball or college or pro, they're not pro, just like myself. The reason why it sticks together is because sometimes we all grow to be successful in a whole nother area in life.
Yep.
So basketball can still be a great outlet to success in general. I
Hmm.
love basketball. I like basketball is really huge to me because it built my whole identity, my whole branding, my competitiveness. Because in everything in life, you really have to be competitive. And I feel like just having those core group of guys around me, it just brings everybody together, and it just builds a whole nother outlet of different things that you guys like, because basketball is cool, but a lot of us never got the chance to embrace things that we didn't like, that we liked, but we never got to really show it because we were just locked into basketball, and we were scared. A lot of basketball players really have other talents, but they're scared to do it because they have that identity of, oh, I'm a basketball player, I gotta look cool. I can't do this because my coach, my trainer, my people's where I'm from, they support me. They're not gonna look at me like a basketball player, even though we all got different abilities of talents. Like as you guys can see, a lot of NBA guys, they retired, they're starting podcasts and doing a whole lot of other things.
Yep.
And sometimes basketball is time consuming, so I get it. But sometimes you really could be doing another thing at the same time, and you just scared because you don't want to be looked at as that instead of a basketball player. But it's because it's looked at as corny. So
Gems on top of gems.
yeah,
My brother, we gotta do a shoe
hey
toast.
man,
Hey, Eden, appreciate you, bro, for pulling up
yo,
on the pod. Keep up the great work. Make sure you follow my brother here, man. Content galore. Super excited to see what you've been cooking up. And that is for a latest episode of We Don't Talk Hoops with Arden Franklyn. Appreciate all the support, handshakes and hugs. Talk to y'all next time, man.
appreciate you for
Peace.
having me, brother.